Well, Jim, SuicideFantasyFootball.com, back to do the tight ends. And are you waiting so desperately to do your Dixon joke again?
No, it's not. No, it's not. Because you once again put the Maloik, the kill on everybody. Did you watch the Cleveland Browns game yesterday? Did you see who they were throwing the ball to? Not your boy. They were throwing it to Alex Smith. That's who got the touchdown. That's who they were throwing it to. As soon as you said Evan Moore might as well jumped off a bridge because they were throwing to the third guy. I don't think they threw the ball to him like 4 times. He bobbled it every time.
Listen, Alex Smith isn't the guy. Evan Moore is going to be the guy in the long run.
Eventually.
Although he hasn't been the stud that I thought he'd become. And Ben Watson.
They were talking about him.
I was the one talking about him, Jim. They started last week.
They started.
And listen, I was 1 for 2. Greg Little, they really did start to make a part of the offense. Evan Moore, nothing.
Cool. Can't wait.
All right, so who you picking up, Jim?
This week, I'm going with my guy. I'm going with Richie Cunningham on roids. Ballard looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
He wasn't even getting like 3 catches for 15 yards and a touchdown. He was going 5 for 80 or something something ridiculous. I kept seeing him scroll across the bottom.
But dude, your guy you're picking up is on a bye week.
No, I'm still picking him up because I want him to save him. If you got some bum as your backup tight end, which almost every backup tight end is a bum, this is the week to pick him up to make sure you get him because nobody picks up people on a bye week.
All right, I'm picking up a guy who we've kind of talked shit on earlier in the year, but Lance Kendricks is starting to look decent, Jim. 4 catches, 2 weeks in a row. Their offense now without Danny Amendola, with Brandon Lloyd, going to open up the middle of the field a little bit. I'm not calling for him to be an Evan Moore type stud. I'm just saying he's a decent, viable guy. The middle of the Cowboys defense is kind of weak. I'm saying if you need a guy to fill in just for this week, look at Lance Kendricks.
And you put Dallas Clark on your list because you're the only boner that was stupid enough to cut him in the fantasy football
world. I don't think that's true.
But like anybody really cut him besides you.
I think a lot of people may have been down on Dallas Clark. They might have been stupid.
They might have sat him, but they didn't cut him.
You're right about that. Most likely he was a sit. I'm just saying, look, scour the waiver wire. If someone dropped Dallas Clark, pick him up.
Right.
And I was going to say Daniel Fells, just because he's the starting tight end for the Denver Broncos. Our boy Tim Tebow can't make it. You don't think he can make it to the receivers, so he's got to throw it to the running backs and tight end. But Daniel Fells hasn't done anything. I don't even know what to say about him.
And if he's available in your league, Fred Davis is now going to be
Fred Davis is still available.
Well, a lot of people dropped him because Cooley came back and he was healthy and looked like he was decent. So he's a definite pickup if he's available. He's available in about 50% of the leagues. He's somebody I'd be looking at without a doubt.
And then speaking of the guys that I'd be sitting, of course, Chris Cooley got knocked silly by Asamoah. The first good hit of the season by
the first time
defensive back.
It was great.
But I definitely sit him.
Why would you be sitting Shanko? Shanko looked okay last night.
Because either Kristen Ponder's going to be throwing him the ball or Donovan McNabb's going to be throwing him the ball, and neither of them were very impressive.
You just wanted to put Shanko there because you were going to have to call your boy next, and you want to put my guy ahead of your guy.
Mercedes
Lewis. Can you sing the Pebble song for me?
I'm still not saying drop.
Do you want to ride in my Mercedes?
Someday that is going to be funny, Jim. Yeah. We're going to have you doing Pebbles on video.
Yeah, that's right.
It's going to be ridiculous.
It's awesome.
Someday. So Mercedes Lewis, I'm not saying cut him yet. Him and Mike Thomas are in the same boat. Don't play him.
Yeah,
the
We Suck boat. That's the boat that they're in. Ridiculous.
And
with
Blaine Gabbert is throwing me the ball.
MJD's the only option down there. And Jason Hill gave me the finger when he scored his touchdown this week.
He did.
He's 2 for 2.
I still ain't picking him up.
No. I still don't know where he is. I haven't even researched him yet to find out where he went to school.
All right, so that's our
tight ends.
Our adding in for tight ends. And then, of course, Jim, really, again, this week, Dixon is probably a good pickup.
Yeah, for you.
They're going against Jacksonville.
I heard you like Dixon.
I do like Dixon. Dixon is picking up the rear.
There you go.
So, all right, that's what we're saying for tight end, Suicide Fantasy Football, Week 7. Come join our free league at SuicideFantasyFootball.com. It's the One Crazy Fan League. It's free to play. We're going to have cool prizes. It's the second half of the season. You pick a new team every week, but once you use a player, you lose them.
I want to give a shout out to the dude that called me the fatter one. because that means you're fat too.
I am fat too, Jim, but you're fat.
I don't care. Look, if he said the fat one, I knew he was talking about me. When he said fatter, that means we're both fat.
Well,
I'm just fatter than you, which I'm
See,
fine
I
with.
actually think I look skinny next to you.
Well,
so
dude, everybody looks skinny next to me, but
It's
you're
true.
still fat.
Except one person said the reason that I went on a diet was because someone said, "What are you trying to catch up to, Jim?" So.
Nice.
All right, check us out.
out.
Fantasy Football Overload Monday nights now, 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, pre Monday Night Football.